All right, and welcome back to NBA Shorts. We have 2 episodes for you guys this week. On the line, we have Will Sweeney, one of our bloggers. Today, we're going to be discussing new All-Star Jayson Tatum. Will, I guess the question here is, does anybody know how good Jayson Tatum is? Because we think that he's good, but what's his ceiling? What's his bar? How good can Jayson Tatum actually be?
Well, I've watched Jayson Tatum play his whole career so far in the NBA. Obviously, Jayson Tatum broke out in the playoffs. I mean, he had a really good year his rookie year. He broke out in the playoffs in that Bucks series, dropped all those 20-point games, and ever since then, they're building a team around him. I believe that Jayson Tatum is very underrated. I think that he has a complete game. He's not a great passer yet. He's definitely improving on that. I believe that Jayson Tatum, the only downside to Jayson Tatum is that he's not completely consistent. Sometimes he'll have really bad games, but when it comes down to it, I believe that he's a complete player, and that he's a great player to build your team around.
When the Celtics drafted him, my hope for him was just be Paul Pierce. Just be something like Paul Pierce. But after watching him, he's a lot more athletic than I thought he was. He's more athletic than Paul Pierce ever was. And he really plays the passing lanes on defense. I think there's an outside chance that he could be better than Paul Pierce. Do you think that's crazy?
I don't think it's crazy. I watched Paul Pierce play, too, whenever he won a championship. Paul Pierce, obviously, Jayson Tatum's not up to Paul Pierce level yet, because Paul Pierce will be a Hall of Famer. But the way Jayson Tatum's done it so far, it really does look like he can, one day lead his team to a championship if they put the right players around him. Right now, I think that they got the right players around him. They just need to stay healthy and be consistent in the playoffs. I think that Jayson Tatum, some of his game, it can be comparable to Paul Pierce. I mean, Paul Pierce, he was the leader of one of the best championship teams in NBA history. And one of the, so honestly, I'm not going to say that he is Paul Pierce yet, or I'm not going to jinx it and say that he's definitely lived up to what he has to so far. I love him a lot.
In terms of this year's Celtics team, it's really a loaded roster. You got Kemba, Gordon, Jalen, Jayson. They feel like maybe they're a center away, but if Jayson Tatum can be what he was in that playoff run and maybe even be better or turn into the best team or best player on the team, is the championship in his future this year? Is that crazy, or are they a couple of years away yet?
All right, I'm a Celtics fan, so I'm going to be honest with you. The way it's going right now, the Stars are taking over the NBA. So I don't believe that the Celtics have what it has what it takes yet to win a championship. So I believe that they can make a run, yes. The NBA, as predictable as people think the NBA is, it's not so predictable all the time. But I will say this. Jayson Tatum, last year in the playoffs, when he had Kyrie, because the first year, his rookie year, Kyrie wasn't in the playoffs. But last year, Kyrie was in the playoffs, and Jayson Tatum didn't do anything. It just seemed like he was just invisible. He didn't get to take over any of those games. I don't even think he had, in the Bucks series, he didn't even have one 20-point game, I don't think. He just was non-existent. And now that they're building around him, he's able to lead that team. Gordon Hayward, I love Gordon Hayward, is really improving Jayson Tatum, in my opinion. The way that they work together is really good. I love watching them play together. I love that Kemba isn't just jacking up shots. Kemba's passing the ball. I went to a Knicks Celtics game in the beginning of the season thinking that, Kemba's going to shoot 20 shots. And Kemba Walker's a good passer. People don't understand that. Even though Kemba Walker led a Hornets team who had no other players and had to be a scorer, Kemba Walker can actually pass the ball. So I think that the way it's going right now, it's working out perfect for the Celtics. I mean, Kemba Walker's working out perfect for the Celtics. Jayson Tatum is doing what they asked him to do. And I believe within the next 3 years that they will be in the finals.
I actually think the Celtics have a shot this year. I really, really do. But that'll do it for this episode of NBA Shorts. How good is Jayson Tatum? Nobody really knows, but he's on the right path. Thank you guys for watching, and we will see you next time.